All right, you have to bear with me because I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little frustrated because anytime I move, like look at that light, how it changes. And so if I get closer, it doesn't move as much. So we'll try it this way and see if it doesn't change. You get to see my baggy freaking black eyes. But I got two videos coming for you today. One is about making yard steaks, and we'll get that out. And the other one is I found a trick on how we can tape off rounded balloons or like rounded letters. I wasn't doing that before, but we'll get into that later. So hang tight. We're going to work on that today. I bought see that thing right there? I bought a border gable grinding wheel. We're going to try that out. Not that I needed it, right? I just wanted it. It's totally two different things. So I want to tell you I'm frustrated. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You guys know I'm full disclosure, and I'm going to be honest with you. Last night was one of those nights where I was just like, no. Okay? Remember I told you about that competitive advantage? I wish I didn't, because I wanted to just not install at all last night. It was freaking dumping, it was raining, and I had two boys who are constantly complaining about working, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting to try to be the right parent. It's exhausting to try to help them understand that this is a business that we just started, like with our own hands, and that what that means, they just don't get it. They're not supposed to get it. But that doesn't mean that I like it, and I don't. And it's actually made me really bitter, and I was really mad last night. I told my son last night, hey, I'm paying somebody right now to help me. He's a friend of mine, son of one of my friends, a good friend. And, we were out in the rain. I looked at my son in the car. I was like, hey, you stay in the car. And he's like, all right. Which everybody else knows who's a guy. Now, moms are probably going to disagree with me, and if you want to, go ahead, that's fine. But, like, that's code for, hey, you got two other people that are out with raincoats on in the pouring down rain, and are you really going to sit in the car, and just watch everybody else work? So it was a test, and he failed it terribly. Whether it was the right test or the wrong test, it's not up for debate. The fact of the matter is it is what it is. And I was just beat down. The general was complaining a lot. But look, I'll get over it. And here's how I did. All right. I was installing these signs in the rain, I just want to call these people and tell them I'm not going to install the sign tonight. I'm too tired, or I'm too frustrated, or whatever the excuse is. It doesn't matter, right? And I grinded through it, and then I went up to a house north of where we live. Just a different town, I'll just say that. And a good town with good people that I want to help. And I went to this woman's house, and a very small single-story house, and her yard was like a steel girder. It was freaking dumping. Totally dumping. And as I drove in, and one of the things you guys got to do too for me here is you guys got to put out cones whenever you're installing. Put a cone in the front of your truck and in the back of your truck. Why? Because if you get hit and you have cones, you're not liable. I found that out. Did I tell you about that? I probably didn't. Anyway, so I am MFing this install the whole time. Really every stake that gets in the ground, it hits a rock. Every push I make, the H stake bends. Every single stake that's 12 inches that I'm getting into the ground is a freaking grind. It was brutal. It was brutal. And the worst part about it is that the neighbor across the street, they saw me pull in, they opened their door. They're watching me the whole time. Whole time watching, analyzing, watching, judging, watching. What is this guy doing? So, I just do my deal. I get out of my truck, I go to the yard, I take all these signs, I put them down on the ground. This person across the street, I don't think really knows what's happening. But I spell out congrats. And as I'm looking in my peripheral vision into the house, I could see that this woman be like, hey, like she's probably talking to somebody coming over, and they're seeing me spell congrats. And then I spell out this girl's name, Giselle. You see how that changes? I'm sorry about that. I freaking hate that. I'm testy. Anyway, so I'm just about done with the install. I'm putting in the class 2020, right? And I'm changing stakes. I'm in a good enough place where I know what doesn't look right. These things are, blowing over, and some of them are not completely even, and it was just like one of those things. And then out of the corner of my eye, this is what happened. I'm gonna reenact it for you. This actually happened. Hey! Way to go with that sign! Yeah! That's what happened. Lady came out of her house. She said that to me. She's like, way to go! You're the man! Thanks for working so hard. And it freaking snapped me right around. I was like, yeah, I am freaking grinding this. And I needed you to tell me that I was doing something good, because I didn't feel like it. You just never know when you're going to get inspiration, right? And it doesn't matter what you're thinking about. It matters about what you're doing. And even though I have a competitive advantage and I install my shit at night, I didn't want to do it. And even though I didn't want to do it, I still did it. And even while I was doing it, I was swearing. And then someone out of nowhere just came and said, you know what? Yeah, you're the man. Way to think about somebody else. Great job. I love your business. You're working hard. That's what I heard, in that little yeah. But that's all I needed, to be told that, it didn't matter. I was providing a service for a girl who's graduating in 2020, and her mom wanted to celebrate it. And she paid me to do it. And I'm bitching about it. And I'm whining about it. And it took the neighbor to open up her door and yell at me. So you know what I did? She yelled. She was like, yeah. She was so gassed up. It completely flipped me around. I grabbed like a cupcake, like a pink cupcake, like a green present and a star, and I just put it in her front yard for no reason. I just wanted her to know that I appreciated it. Hey, I'm not going to pretend that every day is roses, man. I'm just not. And I'll tell you if it's a shitty day or not. And last night, I certainly could have improved. But that's the update. I wanted to share that with you because it's worth sharing. So, with that being said, I'm going to work now on how to make yard stakes, and I'm also going to work now on how you tape ovals. And in the meantime, please like my channel. Do what my son says. Subscribe. Comment down below. I got one more minute. So I'm thinking about starting, I've started a Patreon account. And what's been interesting is that there's a lot of people asking on business questions, which I think is great. But if you look at any of my videos, all the videos that are getting the most views are views on how to install and make signs. So I think there's two components here. So I'm thinking about it. So yeah, listen. Hey man, if you're having a bad day, own it. Totally own it. I did. I was crabby. I was bitchy. I took it out on people I probably shouldn't have. But I'm allowed to have a bad day. I'm not allowed to take it out on other people, but I'm human and I do it. But that lady snapped me right around, and it was wonderful, and it was worth sharing because it got me motivated to do what we're doing today. So, anyway, thanks everybody so much for subscribing. You have no idea how much it means to me, and you're motivating me to do more of this. So, thank you, and keep kicking ass.